Hello everyone, Fanta here, you're watching FANTAVISION, and today I am discussing the new GameStop layout. Their completely new layout that I was talking about that in the video, where they're gonna have board games, they're gonna have retro video game play area, they're gonna have snacks. I suggested snacks. However, I do not see a fridge in that store that contains energy drinks or soda or anything like that. I kind of get why there's not energy drinks and soda, because it's a liquid. It could get all over the games. It could destroy the consoles. But at the same time, I feel like liquids are more dangerous at a card store than they are if you spill all over a $30 GameCube. I don't know. That's just me. So here it is. This is supposedly a leak according to IGN, but this video's been up for about a week. I'm just an idiot, and I meant to do this video over the weekend, post it Sunday, but a bunch of stuff came up, and I didn't have time. So here I am on a Monday, right after my Tales from Retail. If you haven't checked that out already, you should go check that out. So I just want to give my thoughts on this, because a lot of people have been tweeting at me wondering what I think of this new layout. Is this a new and improved GameStop? Is this what GameStop's should be? And I'm going to go ahead and just let this play out and kind of comment as it plays out. I feel like that's the best way to do it. It's only a minute and 33 seconds, and that way I can kind of discuss what I'm seeing, what I think, and we'll get a real-time reaction here. I hope you guys are okay with that. I don't normally do that, but I feel like that's the best way to approach the new layout and all the new changes. So right away, real quick, before we even start the video, have you noticed something about this store? There's a lot of space, and I think that's missing in a lot of stores. And another thing that I'm noticing is that in this store specifically, it's pretty wide. So a lot of stores aren't going to be able to copy this, but at the same time, I think the registers are in the middle of the store. So maybe if they move everything around, they'll be able to copy the exact same layout that this guy has. And I'll give my thoughts as it goes on. There's already a couch, big freaking TV, new consoles. We only have pop figures in 2 little areas. I like how much space there is. Usually I feel like I am just choked. Okay, he's saying words that don't matter. Usually I feel like I am just suffocating the small enclosed area where I can't move and the line takes up all the room. So we got some retro stuff, we've got the new stuff, we have snacks right there. Freaking snacks. That's smart. You need to find as many things as you can. Real quick, let me pause this here. So you've got old CRT TVs. I'm so happy about that. That's exactly how you should be playing these older consoles. They're gonna look the best on these TVs. Now, where GameStop is gonna find CRTs for every single one of these stores, I have no idea, especially if they're gonna try to go with the same color for each one. That's crazy. They must have raided Goodwills. I don't know. I'm going to pause real quick. What's up with that creepy guy's head on the TV? I don't like it. That's the only thing I don't like so far. I like the registers in the middle. I like that there's a part on each side. It feels a lot more casual. And that's what I feel like a lot of these stores have been missing. Another thing, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of advertising anywhere. I mean, if you look around, I don't see any game posters, really. I don't see any paper merchandising. And if you think back to what I said about how much paper GameStop wastes, how much they waste on the box art, how much they waste on these posters that they constantly switch in and then throw away after they're done. They went through hundreds, if not thousands, well, obviously hundreds of thousands probably worth of dollars worth of this printing of all these different advertisements. Now they just have TVs everywhere. If they're gonna sell ad space, which I believe that those were all paid for, so maybe they weren't paying that cost up front anyway, we're gonna see a lot more environmentally friendly GameStop, and we're going to see them wasting a lot less stuff, wasting a lot less time. I'm sure at some point this store is going to have like the hanging banners, which that's fine. That's not nearly as wasteful as everything else. And it just looks cleaner. It just looks like a cleaner more inviting store. If you can really play these games for free, which is what this manager makes it sound like. He said, just come on in and play some games. If you can play whatever the hell you want, they're going to turn it around. I mean, that board game area looks awesome. I want to see a GameStop in my area look like this. I really do. And I want to see the potential. So he's doing a full store tour. I mean, it's wide open. There's plenty of places to walk. Like I said, I don't see any gaming posters anywhere. There's just TVs. They've gone fully digital in that department. All the toys have been consolidated to smaller areas. There's that big area. There's the snacks right there. They've got an iPad, like a giant freaking tablet on the wall, so you can order from GameStop.com. Now, my question is, I'm going to pause it here, is how does the store make money from those purchases purchased on that tablet? They must have some sort of way that they can track that, so the store so the GameStop knows that that store specifically is the one making sales on that GameStop tablet. Because if the store is not making sales, it's going to look bad on the manager, the employees, and it's going to look bad on just the store itself. So I really hope that they somehow credit that towards that specific store. I'm sure they've figured that out. They do have 5-hour energy. So they do have some sort of energy thing there. I just think they need to have Monsters, Rockstars, Red Bulls. They need to open it up. And tea. Put like Arizona tea in there. They need to open up their range, because if they want people to stay here for a long period of time, hell, sell water bottles if you're trying to be healthier. But they just got a bunch of candy and junk food, so that's obviously not what they're going for. But if they're trying to do something like this, if you have an area set up for board games, you have an area set up for classic games, make it so it is inviting for people to stay, even more so, and not have to leave to get a drink or bring their own. I feel like drinks are just, I keep going on about it, but I think it's just the smart move. I love all the chairs, by the way. They didn't cheap out on these chairs. If you notice, these chairs are like those like gamer chairs that I don't have. I don't know if I'd ever want one, but I gotta give them credit for not just putting cheap ass foldable metal chairs like a lot of places do, or plastic chairs. They went all out on the store. And if they do this in more places, I don't know. There's a lot of potential here. Now, I don't know the profitability of this type of thing, because if a customer is in there just playing games and they don't charge you per hour to play the games, I don't know. I don't know how you manage to, how you kick people off, how you make sure people aren't just hogging the games all day. They're not just coming in, playing games, and leaving. It's really interesting to see the full concept. I could not find any information on whether or not they're charging for this hangout area. I don't think they are. I think they're placing a bet that the customers that are willing to spend time there and play these classic games might walk home with some of these classic games. And like I said, it's not a bad idea on paper, but whenever you come out with something that's a little bit too generous, like letting them play for free, people tend to take advantage of it. People ruin it for everybody else. So it'll be interesting to see how these test stores do. And I hope they work out, because I feel like making GameStop into a more fun place to hang out and just play things, whether it be card games or board games, instead of just a place where you're going to get your game and get out as quickly as possible so the guy doesn't try to shove every single product down your throat. That's a huge change. And what I've been saying all along that GameStop needs to do in order to survive is to have a better customer experience. And that's what this looks like to me. This looks like the ultimate customer experience. If you can really play any freaking game you want on any of those consoles, any game that they actually have in store, if you're allowed to try out games before you buy them, more power to them. And I know a lot of people hate GameStop and a lot of people root to see them fail, but if they turn into this sort of store, that's awesome. That's great. It'll get more people out and about and playing video games with friends and trying out new games and exploring new genres. And I think that's awesome. So hopefully That's what's happening. Hopefully it is a free play area to just hang out. And only time will tell if this turns around their entire company. I don't know. It might be too little too late, but I'm going to stay a little bit hopeful just because the next generation of consoles will be physical. They will have disk drives, and they'll also be backwards compatible. So with those two combined, I think we're going to see GameStop sticking around for a little longer. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, what you guys think of this new concept store, whether or not you think that this is the future of GameStop or if it's even financially viable. And as always, if you like the video, like it, and have a fantastic day. See you guys.